It's time for the top 10 cards from Fractured and Alterac Valley. Don't worry, believe me, there are good cards in this set still. The Madman! Number 10 is LIGHTFORGED CARIEL. Wow, this is a pretty hyped card, and you actually may know that I like playing value decks. LIGHTFORGED CARIEL would be one of my pet favorites, but perhaps it's because I am very familiar with the concept of value that I know not to overrate CARIEL, and this is probably the card that I'm most afraid might not even see play in Hand Buff Paladin. She is kind of slow. While it may look really good to get the immovable object, when you're taking 3 and 1 damage at a time, you suddenly start being like, oh my god, this isn't doing much. But a good card nonetheless, that's worth trying out in a number of Paladin decks, including but not limited to Libram and Hand Buff. Number 9, you got KORRAK the BLOODRAGER. KORRAK's just a natural fit into Death Rattle Demon Hunter. You didn't have very many 4 costs that you could cheat out with your 3 cost Death Rattle. KORRAK's the great one to cheat out. And if you're feeling particularly spicy, you can cheat out KORRAK while drawing it, while tutoring for it with your Rogue deck. Though getting that to happen seems questionable and difficult. Number 8. Hey, it's WINDCHILL. I think that this card is going to be played in Quest Shaman, and I feel like it's a good card in a lot of Shaman decks that aren't just minion-based or aggro-based, and it might even see play there. Freezing a minion can let you avoid it with your minion or avoid it trading into your minions for turn or from your precious face. Number 7, you got IRONDEEP TROGG, which I think could be the meta breaker, potentially, if there's a bunch of quest-based or control-based decks, OTK-based decks. They tend to have a lot of spells in them. What if you buff your IRONDEEP TROGG and then put it on the board and they're unable to remove it? Then they're gonna die. Buff them with your Hand Buff Paladin, buff them in your Druid deck, and then put them on the board, and you might be surprised when you just win. Number 6, DREK'THAR. DREK'THAR is a really strong card in aggro Druid right now, and here's a fun stat for you. I do think that this is the best version of aggro Druid right now. When DREK'THAR is in your opening hand, according to these stats, you get to win 75% of the time. That's a good card. Number 5, SLEETBREAKER. This is a very strong elemental, which gets you that beautiful WINDCHILL card. I rate this higher than WINDCHILL because this does go into Elemental Shaman, which is a strong deck, and it does land on turn 2, which activates your turn 3 Gyre Worm as well as your turn 3 Windfury Rush guy. Number 4, CLAWFURY ADEPT. I definitely see this card going into the aggro Druids, probably replacing the far posts, and CLAWFURY ADEPT could also, well, will also be in the aggro Beast Druid deck. Just a really strong package on a 2-mana 2/3. Number 3, FROSTBITE. FROSTBITE, just by looking at it, it's a strong card. It's 2-mana deal 3. Could hit the face. And importantly, if you honorably kill with it, you slow down your opponent's spells so that FROSTBITE basically costs 0 for you to deal 3. That's really good. Where FROSTBITE shines is that it's a frost spell, which means that multicaster will be able to give you credit when you cast your FROSTBITE or your WINDCHILL. Number 2, SHADOWCRAFTER SCABBS. This is a really, really strong hero card. Expect to see SHADOWCRAFTER SCABBS in every rogue deck that isn't tempo deck, and even in tempo decks, if you have a bunch of battlecry effects, SHADOWCRAFTER SCABBS could let you play all of them again. Put it in a whatever value rogue you can get. Your Death Rattle rogue if that's a deck. And then we got our honorable mention here. Stormpike Marshal. Nice card, which is a bit of a meta call if there's a bunch of aggro out there. This is a 1-mana 2/6 taunt. So good. Aggro decks hate her. And finally, number 1, DREADLICH TAMSIN. Holy cow, how could they put all of this on one card? The deal 3 to all, that's worth 5 mana. The draw 3, which is worth 5 mana. 5 plus 5 equals 6! You get it all for 6 mana, and you get 5 armor. And you also get to improve your hero power so you don't take damage, and you get 3 3s every so often. It's so good that even if you want to take damage in your Questlock deck, you should put in DREADLICH Tamsin, not look back. Put her in every Control Warlock deck ever. There's my picks for the best cards of Fractured and Alterac Valley. I think this top 10 list has a very high chance of being right because I'm basically saying, hey, these cards are really good in current decks that are really good. And I think that the current decks really clearly will be the best decks. Still, they're good cards in existing good decks. What could go wrong by playing them?